You found the WMIX Saturday Sports Show on AM 940 and WMIXSports.com. Cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. The Saturday Sports Show has been recognized by the Illinois Broadcasters Association as one of the top radio programs in the state. That means the very best mix of local sports content is right here. From the powerhouse on Broadway, the Saturday Sports Show starts now.
Saturday Sports Show brought to you by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital. It's what healthcare should be. Danny Zerwinski in studio in Mount Vernon on Broadway with Avery Barton pushing the buttons. Jeff Crow and Chris Hugo heading north to Mattoon, Illinois, as the Lady Rams will play Mattoon in a 11:30 game, give or take. That'll happen here in a while. They're on assignment. Of course, Mike Richardson away on assignment. As well as we welcome you into the first day of February, first weekend of February, and hard to believe that January's gone. February's here in about 6 weeks. High school basketball season for 1A and 2A boys will be over in about 5 weeks for 3A, 4A girls, and about 4 weeks for 1A, 2A girls, and of course in about 7 weeks, basketball season completely over for high school. We are to that point of the season. Hope you had a good week. Hope you have a good sports week as well. A lot of things going on this weekend, of course. Obviously, the big one is the Super Bowl. We'll talk about that here in a little while. Got a little hint on that. High school basketball going on big time, of course, right now. Of course, rolling into February, you're going to notice a lot of games on a lot of nights you don't normally see. Teams trying to get those games in due to those cancellations from those winter storms in December and January as teams start getting to go. You're going to start seeing now as we transition from midwinter and holiday tournament time and conference tournament time, you're going to see a distinct shift in shootouts as shootout season will begin. Of course, today and next weekend and next weekend after that, a lot of shootouts around the state of Illinois as February is kind of that shootout month where teams get together and play, and those that can have JV shootouts and JV teams play are just as good, if not better, because everybody gets a game that way. It is, speaking of that, a triple header of high school basketball today here on WMIX. Not only do you get the Saturday Sports Show, but you get a triple header of basketball at around, 11:15 or so, I would say. On AM 940, you can watch it live at WMIXSports.com. The Mount Vernon Lady Rams off a big win Thursday against Altoff. They'll go to Mattoon, as we mentioned, take on the Green Wave, and pregame at 11:15, give or take, and the first opening tip's at 11:30. Then on the FM side today, I will travel to Pinckneyville to join up with WMIX sports correspondent Todd Rushing. We will bring the call of the DuQuoin-Woodlawn game, that pregame at 3:15, opening tip at 3:30 from historic Duster Thomas Gymnasium in Pinckneyville. A big shootout going on there today as well. And then we'll take a break, and Todd and I will come back later in the evening at around 6:15 for the pregame as we get ready for Cesar-Valere and Steelville, both those games coming from the Pinckneyville Shootout on 94.1 FM and online at WMIXSports.com. That's our Saturday. We go out and do games. We go out and broadcast games. That's what we like to do here at WMIX. Get out there and go and get some games on the air. The Saturday Sports Show, though, today is loaded lineup as usual. We got several things to talk about. Obviously, the Super Bowl's going on. Of course, that's tomorrow with Seattle and Denver, two former AFC West rivals back in the day when guys like John Elway, David Craig, Steve Largent, the Three Amigos, Sammy Winder were all running around in the AFC West playing in Mile High Stadium in the Kingdome. Now, two teams in different stadiums, different conferences going at it tomorrow. Also today, at Triad High School, sectional championship competition for cheerleading teams. We wish the best of luck to all cheerleading teams stay at Triad. I think that's the only sectional going on around the state due to the weather in the central and northern part of the state. So one of the teams that are up there, we post on our Facebook page, facebook.com/WMIX Sports, the Mount Vernon Rams cheerleading team competing today. You can see that picture there. Also, we've tweeted it on Twitter at WMIX Sports. Your Saturday Sports Show today, as we mentioned, loaded lineup. Scott Gamber, the Mount Vernon Rams, will join us first, talk about his team's tough loss at Altoff last night. Great effort by the Rams. Just came up short a little bit in a 63-55 loss. After him will be Hamilton County High School coach Keith Welch. He will join us, talk about his Hamilton County Foxes. Had a tough week at the BIT. Came back with two great wins this week at Waltonville and then against arch rival El Dorado last night in BDC Eastern Division play. We're going to have him on. Mike Finkbone, the head coach of the Odin Eagles, who won the Midland Trail Conference Tournament last week, breaking a 5-year streak of the Woodlawn Cardinals. He's going to join us around 8:40. We're going to have him on before he gets on the bus and heads to Pinckneyville for the Eagles game today against Lovejoy. Odin coming off a big win last night against Sandoval, 87-70. At 8:50, Jeff Lana will join us on the bus as his team. He might actually be closer to Mattoon at that point. He will join us. His team coming off a big win against Altoff on Thursday night at home. And then on today, they go to Mattoon, as we mentioned. And next week, home against Centralia and at Marion, a South 7 Conference Championship within the sights of the Mount Vernon Lady Rams. Top of the hour, we'll roll into the Pinckneyville Shootout. Games galore there today at Duster Thomas Gymnasium and the Auxiliary Gym. Of course, we'll be there for a couple of them. The head coach of the Pinckneyville Panthers, Bobby Wagner, will join us to talk about his team winning the BIT for the 9th time in 10 years last Saturday, and, of course, the shootout in Pinckneyville today. After him, Mike Denault, head coach of the Trico Pioneers. His team got a couple big wins this week, 2 blowouts. They beat part of Franklin County, Christopher and Cesar-Valier. A big win last night at home for Trico at 9:25. A guy that we haven't talked to in a while. Had a pretty good BIT last week. Not BIT tournament, that's kind of like bits. But John Krause, the head coach of the Oakville Rockets, will join us. He had a big win. His team had a big win last night as well. And so as you can see, we're loaded up, ready to go. Basketball is the theme. It's that time of year. The final football game of the year is tomorrow. And then, of course, you transition to things such as NASCAR and otherwise. Excuse me. Coughing a tickle this morning as we roll into this WMIX Sports Scoreboard. We'll start off with junior high basketball last night. The Class M Girls State Tournament wrapped up in third place. Valmeyer beat Fairfield 36-31. And in the championship last night, Lebanon beat Oakville in overtime 48-47. In wrestling last night, Mount Vernon beat Centralia 54-24. Girls basketball, a couple of games. Wayne City beat Woodlawn at home 46-35. And T-Town knocked Effingham from the realm of the unbeatens 29-25. Boys play last night, South 7. Altoff at home, as we said, beat Mount Vernon 63-55. Cokie beat Centralia at home 60-52. And Carbondale beat Marion on the road 73-60. In the Apollo last night, Effingham beat Charleston 69-47. Mattoon beat Mount Zion 50-39, and Paris beat Salem 41-35. Black Diamond East, Fairfield with a nice win last night against Johnston City. That score over there at the Mule Barn was 56-42. Hamilton County beat El Dorado 63-45. BDC West Christopher slugged Alvarado 77-14. Goreville beat ZR 74-70. Some controversy as to whether the last basket or not counted. And Trico, as we mentioned, beat Cesar-Valera 61-35. Midland Trail last night, and this was a tournament game. Odin beat Sandoval 87-80. North Clay got Grayville 59-40, and Waltonville got a win 59-44 over Clay City at home. Mississippi Valley, Mascoutah beat Triad 52-44, and Waterloo in triple overtime beat Civic Memorial 37-34. That's the 9th win in a row for C.J. Cruiser's Waterloo Bulldogs. They're coming off that Sparta Invitational Tournament Championship last Saturday night. In the Mississippi Division, river to river, Carterville handled DuQuoin 43-22. Nashville beat AJ 67-44, and Pinckneyville beat Sparta 55-48. Ohio Division last night, Benton lost a big lead, then lost in overtime 52-47 at Heron. Massac beat Murphy 55-49. And another big win for the West Frankfort Redbirds. They beat Harrisburg at home 57-46. That broke a 13-game winning streak for Harrisburg against the Eagles. We'll go a little bit more. We'll go down to the Greater Egyptian Conference Tournament. Pope County beat Galatia 46-39. It was Crab Orchard over Hardin County 64-59. Gallatin County beat NCOE 51-48. Little Illini Conference Tournament last night. Consolation title. Flora beats Marshall 53-43. Lawrenceville beat Newton for third 56-52. And in the championship game, Olney beat Casey Westfield 60-55. One non-conference score of interest. A couple of them, actually. Carlisle beat Payne 77-60. Chabot beat Madison 59-44. And, of course, Oakville beat Columbia 67-53. That scoreboard update can be found at WMIXsports.com, listed by order, by conference, by tournament, by sport, as we try to get them organized by date, month, year, everything else. So you don't have to go back and look and search and scrounge. You can find them by the day of the game listed at WMIXsports.com. Follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. We're going to be tweeting throughout the morning show all day and all night, of course, and we're very shortly going to put the WMIX Sports social media question of the week on Facebook, facebook.com/WMIX Sports. Time to take a break. Our first guest, Mount Vernon High School boys basketball coach Scott Gamber, will join us. You're listening to the Saturday Sports Show on WMIX.
Mount Vernon is home to many wonderful people and things, and that includes quality cardiac care from Dr. Ruzaik Ibrahim. A skilled cardiologist, Dr. Ibrahim's training and scientific accomplishments have earned his designation as a Fellow of the American College of Cardiology. His services range from preventative care to the treatment of advanced heart conditions. For an appointment with Dr. Ibrahim at Crossroads Specialty Clinic, call 241-9071 or visit in person at 4113 South Water Tower, Mount Vernon.
More Americans are on a move today than ever before. One of the most popular modes of transportation is the motorcycle. Motorcycles take us to our jobs, school, to the beach, and all around the country. If you're a bike rider, your Pekin Insurance Agency, Page Insurance on Crownview in Mount Vernon, wants to make sure you have the best insurance protection while you're riding. Ask about the money-saving auto cycle discount and the experienced driver discount, too. Call Page Insurance at 242-7000 today about motorcycle insurance from Pekin Insurance.
With the housing market picking up and rates still low, now's the perfect time to purchase a home of your dreams. Hi, this is Joy Schrader, mortgage specialist from People's National Bank. People's National Bank has several different programs to choose from to help get you in the home of your dreams. Stop by and see me, Joy Schrader, or apply online at peoplesnationalbank.com today.
People's National Bank, serving Southern Illinois since 1909, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Loans subject to credit approval.
Here's Jeff Schmidt for Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon.
The 2014 Chevy Silverado is stronger, smarter, and more capable than ever with a 4.3-liter V6 that's best in class in V6 torque. The crew cab has 2 inches more rear legroom. There's no quieter pickup in its category due to inlaid and triple sealed doors. The Silverado offers best in class towing too. And trade in any 99 or newer GM vehicle and you get $1,000 in bonus cash.
Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon, 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon.
Saturday Sports Show brought to you by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than the hospital. It's what healthcare should be. Denny Zawinski and Avery Barton in studio. Jeff Crow and Chris Hugo on the road to Mattoon for Lady Rams basketball coming up at around 11:15 on the AM side. And joining us now, the head coach of the Mount Vernon Rams, Scott Gamber. And, Coach, one thing I take away from the game last night, I'm not a guy big on, if you lose, you take something, hang your hat on, and be happy about it. One thing I noticed last night, your team played about as hard and gave about as much effort, I thought, as I have seen your team all year at Althoff.
Yeah, I mean, that part was nice. I thought defensively and effort-wise, I felt like our kids were after it and that thing. I just wish we could find the combination of I thought we played hard. I just think we need to play smarter, and I just thought that's after the game last night and through watching the film, we've got to be a smarter team. We can't force so many shots. The shots we're getting last night, we could get at any point in the game, and we don't need to take them that quickly.
I was looking at the game last night. A couple of mental things go through my mind. Is first, riding the bus over, you're without Braden Fitzgerald's, of course. When you arrive, you get there and you find out Eric Mertens is not playing and freshman sensation Jordan Goodwin isn't playing. So how did the mental approach change when you got over there to say, okay, now these two aren't going to play? How does that change? Did that change your plan at all going into last night's game?
Well, we knew Mertens was going to be out. The Goodwin kid we found out Thursday was out. When we kind of knew, we didn't find out till after practice on Thursday. But I thought their kids did a really nice job without him. I thought one thing was that Goodwin being out meant that Gooch and Renner got a lot more shots, and those two kids are really nice players. Renner has been one of my favorite kids in the conference for the last couple of years. He's a smart kid. He's hard to get, he's hard to get rattled. And I thought he I thought he, more than anyone last night, really hurt us. He had some tough perimeter shots, and then he did a really nice job off the dribble. But I thought their kids adjusted pretty well without Goodwin. Again, I thought that Gooch got a lot more touches this time at Althoff than what he did at Mount Vernon. And Gooch is a tough matchup for us because he's 6'5", 6'6", and he's really long. He's a good enough athlete that he can get around you on the perimeter. He's a tough matchup for our bigs on the perimeter. He's a really tough matchup for our guards in the post. And I thought they did a nice job at times kind of isolating him in good spots.
I looked last night, and to me the game started out, Althoff had a lot of energy. Their student body down to the left of your bench was jacked and ready to go. But I thought your team, considering kind of the mash unit your team has dealt with here, and the situation on the road, your team seemed to take a couple of punches from Althoff and turn it around and gave it right back to him at times in that first half and hung around. Did you feel like your team kind of got tougher last night, both physically and mentally, as far as the basketball team goes?
Yeah, I was really, especially the first half, like you said, they came out, and I thought they played really well. And a couple times I thought that Althoff was kind of on the verge of maybe really getting some distance between us and them. And I thought our kids early in the game did a great job of hanging around. I was ecstatic at halftime to feel like, hey, they played pretty well. We struggled a little bit right at the beginning of the game. We were only down 4 or 5 at the half. I really liked where we were at. And I really liked where we were at the end of the third quarter because, again, I thought we had forced some things, but we were still right around where we were in the game. I tell you that I thought the spot of the game that really killed us and where we needed to do a better job of running clock was Shikari got fouled and was going to the line in like a three-point game, and he had to come out of the game because of an ankle injury. And during that 2.5 minutes that Shikari was out, right there at the end of the third quarter, they went on a big run. And instead of it being a 2-3-point game, it was like 7-8. I thought that was a key part of the game. We needed to be a lot less in a hurry when Shikari was on the bench. We needed to realize, hey, we're already shorthanded. Now Shikari's out. We needed to run some clock, try to just keep the game where it was at until Shikari got back in. And I thought we forced some things there that were kind of unneeded, and it allowed them to put a little distance. And still, in the fourth quarter, we had 2 fast breaks there, were pretty uncontested layups, and we missed those both. And then we missed 3 out of 4 free throws down the stretch, and so it's one of those things where you wish you would have done a lot of things better. But considering a lot of things, we still were in the game. It's just, I think as a whole, if we want to win the conference, if we want to be anything more than the bottom of the league, beating teams that are just okay, we're going to have to play a lot smarter and more deliberate than what we're playing.
Scott Gamber of the Mount Vernon Rams joining us here on the Saturday Sports Show. Looking to next week, of course, you get a whole week off, and the way the injury bug is kind of rattling around your team. Jake Pike took some bumps last night. Of course, Shikari Hawkins, you mentioned, took some bumps. Braden Fitzgerald's out right now. I mean, you're taking some lumps and bumps. You had another injury in the JV game last night. This week off is as important to get rest as it is to get ready for Cahokia?
It is, and where we've been very unfortunate is at the younger levels with injury. We're very short-handed right now. We have 18 kids on the team, and most of the week last week we were practicing with 11 or 12 because of injury, sickness. We had a kid suspended from school, so he missed. So it is. It's important that we get healthy this week, but it's also important that we get a lot of work in because Cahokia, very good basketball team, and then Jerseyville is a really, really nice ball club, and having to go over there. Talked to our kids last night after the game when I was trying to talk about pace of play and shot selection, that sort of thing, that we don't have outside of Lovejoy. I don't know if there's a game that we play the rest of the regular season where we're favored to win. If we don't really go to work and get better and improve, we'll have a difficult time winning any other game. And that's kind of where, I don't want to say panic button, but we need to realize how difficult the rest of our schedule is, and we need to realize, hey, we've got to play a certain way if we want to compete with these teams. If not, then I don't think we can play the same style and expect a different result.
Those games coming up: Koki at home at Jerseyville, at Marion, and then home against Lovejoy, Carbondale, Effingham, and Centralia. Coach, final question for you. Of course, our WMIX Sports social media question of the week, and I know you're probably not looking forward to it, but we ask this: what is your favorite part about Super Bowl Sunday?
Just being around a lot of friends and the food and everything like that. It's especially with the Super Bowl occurring during basketball season, there are so few times where you relax and get around a lot of people, and Super Bowl Sunday is one of those times. So I'm kind of looking forward to tomorrow, getting away from basketball, not watching film, not having to scout, not having to think about it, and just watching football, eating a ton of food, and having fun with some good friends.
Well, Coach, we thank you for joining us, and consider you a friend as well. We'll see you next Friday night at home against the Koki Comanches. Thanks for joining us this morning.
All right, thanks a lot for having me.
That's Scott Gamber, head coach of the Mount Vernon Rams. They'll be at home next Friday night against Cahokia and on the road Saturday at Jerseyville. That'll be a tough one. That Saturday game at Jerseyville, it's a 5 p.m. JV start next Saturday. Take a break, come back, talk with Keith Welch, head coach of the Hamilton County Foxes. His team got a couple big wins this week. You're listening to the Saturday Sports Show, brought to you by Crossroads Community Hospital on WMIX.
This is Chase Landers with Landers Collision Centers. Imagine this. You're driving down the road. It's dark as can be outside. Thank goodness you just had that left headlight bulb replaced. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see a thing. Now, close your eyes. Okay, don't close your eyes. You're supposed to be driving. Imagine noticing a slight twinkle off to the left, just above the ditch. What is that, you think to yourself? All of a sudden, whap! You've just encountered your first deer hit. The left side of your vehicle is beat up pretty bad. The next thing I want you to imagine is very simple. Picking up your phone and dialing 1-888-LANDERS to set up your repair. Deer claims are common, and usually a very simple process, which fall under comprehensive coverage. This is Chase Landers, asking you to allow Landers to be your collision repair shop of choice. Whether it be a deer hit, fender bender, or the regular, uh-oh, sorry mom, Landers is here for you whenever you need us. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. 1-888-LANDERS, that's 1-888-LANDERS.
Your spine is a miracle of engineering, so when pain strikes, your body is telling you to get help fast. The Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois is proud to feature their spine care team. Doctors Kowalski and Smith, the professionals at Orthopedic Center, specialize in back and neck pain. So put our spine care team on the job. Find out more online at orthocenter-si.com. Stop the pain, fix the problem, and enjoy life again. The Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new One Account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC.
Saturday Sports Show brought to you by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital. It's what healthcare should be. Denny Zerwinski and Avery Barton in studio. Chris Hugo and Jeff Curl on the way to Mattoon for Lady Rams basketball. Mike Richardson on assignment. Joining us now, Coach has got a couple wins and his team playing very well. Keith Welch of the Hamilton County Foxes joins us. Coach, nice wins this week over El Dorado and Waltonville, especially last night, a conference win. How's your team feeling this morning?
Hey, guys are really excited. You know, we went through a tough week last week, and we talked after Saturday night at the BIT just to build from here. I thought we went 0-5, but the kids really bought into it, and it showed this week.
The weather has really affected your team way back when before. I mean, you had several games wiped out. Then you had games you had to play in a stretch where winter was taking over and schools weren't in session. And you mentioned the BIT. You've had a tough January into February. You get a couple wins this week. The BIT for your team, I know it wasn't the way you wanted to go, but how did that change your team's approach this week after that week at the BIT?
I really thought we come out and did an okay job the first night, and then we come out against Sesser, and I really didn't think that our kids performed and didn't play as hard as they normally do. And we talked about that after that game, and come back in the next 3 games and really make some strides forward. We did play Pineville to 10 points. They're a nice team, and we took Benton down the wire. And that's just a tough tournament and tests your kids, mental as well as physical abilities. And we talked after the Saturday night. Our season can go one of two ways from right here. It can go, you can throw in the towel, or we can build from where we're at. And I think our kids really bought in to the idea of building from where we're at, and it showed this week.
And you get a big win on Tuesday on the road at Waltonville, tough environment to go play. Then you come back with El Dorado at home. And you get them, and I think for your team that's huge because you're going in, and of course there's a lot of postponed games coming up, but you have Benton Tuesday at home, at Vienna Friday, and then on the road again at the Benton Shootout. I mean, this is kind of week your team needed, possibly to give them confidence for the upcoming schedule, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is definitely a week where we had to get things put together and put a couple whole games together and get some confidence in our kids. They've been working as hard as any team has, and they just need a little bit of confidence, and I think this week really helped us with that.
When you look at that Benton Shootout next week, for our listeners who don't know, who do you play in that next week?
We play Mount Carmel.
Oh, that's a nice little get. Of course, after that, Fairfield Carmine at JC. Any other games you have rescheduled in that stretch from the winter weather?
No, we actually got all ours made up earlier, and we don't have any other ones right now.
Change topics. Your team's going to play, of course, next week, those 3 games. Last night, you're a McLeansboro guy, and last night in Utah, Jerry Sloan got a number retired at Utah and the wins and everything else. As a guy from McLeansboro, what does that mean? How does that make you feel, your community, your players, your team, to see a guy get such treatment and have such success at all levels that he had, especially at the NBA level?
He, for number one, he's an amazing guy. He's not a true celebrity. He comes to McLeansboro, and he wants to be treated as a normal person and supports our community. We named the gym after him last year, and he was there talking to the kids, encouraging them, and just sitting down, just being a normal guy. And that's the biggest thing about him. He's an absolute wonderful man, and it means so much to this community to have someone like him represent our town.
You and I are a little older than most, but, I mean, your teams, these guys probably don't remember him, obviously not playing, and may not remember him coaching. They got to go back to the video archives or video stuff to watch. Do they see him as that, or are kids these days and they kind of look ahead and not look back?
There's some of them that do and some of them that don't. It's just depending upon how they're brought up, I guess. But the majority of them know who he is around here. It's all of the community. Everyone knows who he is. But like you said, some of the kids aren't old enough to see it. The other day I said something about Larry Bird in practice, and one of my kids looked up at me and said, "Who's Larry Bird?" I just said, "Get a drink."
And I was going to say, did you tell him get a drink, or did you tell him take off running? Is he still running right now as far as that goes?
I couldn't figure out what to say, so I just told them all to get a drink.
I mean, that had to throw. That had to sit there and stun you for a little bit, didn't it? Just kind of say, I'd have been in shock. I wouldn't know what to have said at that point.
Yeah, that's pretty much why I just said get a drink, because I couldn't figure out. You don't know who Larry Bird is.
Here's a video. Go to YouTube. Go to the NBA. Look this up. Look how they'll play the game. Regional play. You're at the Mount Carmel Regional. It's a tough environment to go. You get Mount Carmel next Saturday. Carmi, Fairfield, Florida, Lawrenceville, and that is no easy regional for any of those teams at 2A regional Mount Carmel.
Right, and we saw Florida earlier in the year. Obviously, we played Carmine and Fairfield a couple times, and we're going to see Mount Carmel also. So we're seeing the majority of those teams in the regional to see where we're at before we go into play there.
Next to final question. What's wrong with our Kentucky Wildcats?
I don't know, but they're going to get figured out today real quick.
They might need figured out.
I think they need to start playing a little bit harder and playing with a sense of urgency is what I think.
Well, here's an easier question for you. It's our WMIX Sports social media question of the week. What is your favorite part about Super Bowl Sunday?
My favorite part about Super Bowl Sunday? It's got to be the food.
The food? Okay.
I'm not really excited about the two teams this year. I'm a Bears fan, so I just like the food and the atmosphere, I guess.
Well, I'm a Cowboys fan. You've been there to the Super Bowl since my team's last been there, so enjoy that aspect because there's kids that are going to graduate high school this year that hadn't even seen the Cowboys win but one playoff game and never been to the Super Bowl. That's bad.
That's true. That is true.
Hi, Coach. Thanks for joining us this morning. You got a big week next week, 3 games, rest of the season as well. Good luck. Thanks for being on. And, man, that was a nice 2 wins this week, and enjoyed having you on this morning.
Thanks. I appreciate it, guys.
That's Keith Welch, head coach of the Hamilton County Foxes. His team gets a couple big wins this week over Waltonville last night at home against El Dorado. We'll take a break, come back with the Odin Eagles head coach of boys basketball program, Mike Finkbone, champions of the Midland Trail Tournament for 2014. We need to take a break. Saturday Sports Show on WMIX.
The health of your kidneys has a big impact on your overall health, affecting everything from your blood pressure to your bones. And if you ever have a kidney problem, Dr. Kangura is here to help. Dr. Kangura trained at the Mayo Clinic and specializes in conditions ranging from kidney stones and uncontrolled high blood pressure to chronic kidney disease. Dr. Kangura sees patients at Crossroads Specialty Clinic. For an appointment, call 618-241-9071.
The F-Series truck remains America's best-selling truck for the 37th straight year and the country's best-selling vehicle for 32 consecutive years. Hi, Roy Schmidt Ford Lincoln dealer at Ford Square, Mount Vernon. Ford dealers sold 763,402 F-Series trucks last year. We had a great F-Series year at Ford Square, but we want to make 2014 even better. At work or play, Ford F-Series rises above. Year after year, 4 advanced engines, 3 cabs, and 3 box lanes. No wonder F-Series is number 1. We have an excellent inventory of F-Series at Ford Square and have many more coming in. If you're looking for a full-size truck, come see one of our sales associates at Ford Square, 1501 Broadway in Mount Vernon, Illinois, where the best never rest. You can also find all of our inventory, new or pre-owned, at fordsquare.com.
Saturday Sports Show brought to you by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital. It's what healthcare should be. Denny Zerwinski here on the Saturday Sports Show. Avery Barton pushing the buttons. And joining us now for the first time, the head coach of the Odin Eagles, Mr. Mike Finkbone. And, Coach, first off, compliments to you and your team winning that Midland Trail Conference Tournament championship last week. However, do you realize how much money Las Vegas lost that night when your team won, as I kid you?
Yeah, if that was true, there'd been a whole lot of money made somewhere and a whole lot of money lost somewhere. Definitely the odds was against us on that one.
I was amazed because, you go in this game and you'd already played Woodlawn in December, and it didn't go so well. And coming into that game, your mental approach, yours and your team, what was the thoughts like riding that bus from Odin to Louisville last Saturday going into that ball game? What did your team think about it? Did they even bring it up that they were playing, and who they were playing, and what was going on?
Well, we had about a 20-minute meeting before we even got on that bus, and when we left Woodlawn, they thumped us awful hard over there, and we knew we hadn't played well. There was a span that we were off for 17 days, but we're not making excuses. I think they were off for 13 days. But we went in there, and we just flat out didn't do anything, and they took it to us, and, you know, Coach Witzel and his teams are always very well fundamentally, and they just took it to us. They beat us in every aspect of the game. And we had a little meeting about that before we left, saying, hey, you know what? They really haven't seen us play. Let's just go out, give it all. We have nothing to lose. But, we basically said every loose ball on that floor, we're going to have 5 guys diving after. Every rebound, we're going to go after, and we're going to try to control the tempo. And we pretty much did that in all aspects.
I noticed that, and I compliment your team. It seemed like they had a game plan, and as they came in, you could tell that they, early on, maybe a little tentative, but, boy, once they started playing and doing things, that's where the confidence built. One of the guys that I thought played really well, started early, was Gavin Wood, hit some big shots, and, of course, Ryan Niepotter, the MVP of the tournament. Those two guys, to me, seems to kind of be the confidence builders of the team, and then guys like Ike Margram and Chase Horton, Devin Williams feed off of those guys, and then that built the confidence to get that win last week.
Yeah, Ryan and Gavin, they've really stepped up their games, and the thing about our team is we're all average. We got 7 kids. One of them's out with a broken foot right now. But out of our 7, 5 of us average in double figures, and the other 2 are at 8 and 9. So honestly, every night we pretty much have a different leading scorer, and I think that's what makes us so good. That we really don't have that go-to guy, but we got about 5 or 6 go-to guys, and that really helps out.
You look at that last night. You get that big win last Saturday night. Not much rest this week. What did your team have to play this week, or who did your team have to play this week to get back in the swing of things?
Oh my goodness, did we ever play? We had that big game Saturday night, and then we played Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. We played last night, and we got 2 games today. We go down to Pinckneyville and play at 12:30 against Lovejoy, and then we go to Centralia and play Christ Rock tonight at 6:30. So in the span of the 7 days, we played 7 games.
So let me get this straight. You play last night. You get this tournament championship last week. You got the tournament this week. You beat Sandoval last night, 87-80. And you got to get on the bus. You go to Lovejoy, and you got another game tonight. I mean, you guys play all comers any time of the day, it sounds like to me.
Yeah, we have this week, and the legs are starting to show it a little bit. We're getting a little bit tired, but that's basketball. We had Monday and Tuesday was a little bit sluggish. Thursday we just laid an egg against Patoka, but all in all, we're 15-3 overall in the year, and we're having a pretty good year. Like I said, that conference tournament champion was definitely the best of the best for us.
An opportunity to play in a shootout today against Lovejoy, a school that's on the Mount Vernon schedule for boys basketball. I mean, how does that's got to be a nice experience for your team to get to play in facilities like Pinckneyville today, or this afternoon, I should say, against the Lovejoy.
It is. We're really excited about, first of all, just being asked to go down there, and it'll be a good experience for our kids to be in that surrounding and to play a team that plays the big schools, and we're just happy to be going down there, and hopefully we can make a good showing down there.
Not looking too far ahead, of course, but you got to the Mulberry Grove Regional. You're in it with Sandoval, Patoka, South Central, Christ Our Rock Lutheran, and, of course, Mulberry Grove. Very winnable regional. Have you started thinking about, we've got a shot to win that thing this year?
You betcha. When we saw where Woodlawn was going and where we were going, and we got a big smile on our face, and we've beaten everybody in that regional this year, and we're just hoping to go over there and just take one game at a time and get the job done. It'd been. The paper kind of showed my age when they said that the last time we won that conference championship was when I was a senior, and to be honest, I'm not sure we've ever won a regional here in Oak.
Going back, you mentioned about the weather. You guys took a hit, obviously, like a lot of other teams. How many games do you have to make up, if any, over the next month?
Actually, we just got one to make up now, and that's Weber Township. We're playing them February 17th. Next week, I say we just got 2 games, which is what we usually play, but it seems like not much after this week. But we got Waltonville home Tuesday and Wayne City home Friday.
That's actually a nice week. You don't have to get on the bus and play and travel 7 days out of 6, do you?
Yeah, it'll be nice to be at home for a change.
Nice to be at home. We wish you the best of luck this afternoon, of course, tonight, and finishing up that tournament. Enjoy the experience at Pinckneyville. But before we let you go, we got to ask you what is called our WMIX Sports Social Media Question of the Week. And this week's question is, what is your favorite part about Super Bowl Sunday?
What is my favorite? Well, since my Cowboys are never in anymore, I guess I'm just going to have to go with the commercials.
Well, you know what? I like what I feel your pain because you and I like the same team. I just told Keith Welch of Hamilton County, he was on before you on our show, and I said, there are kids that are going to graduate high school this year that have never seen the Cowboys in the Super Bowl or just seen them win one playoff game. You and I have never been through an 18-year streak like this.
No, it's pretty depressing, and they just tease us. They just keep going 500, and we just can't seem to get there.
We're getting somewhere. It's called 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. That's what this is called.
Exactly.
I know how it is. I've been getting ridden a lot about my team not doing anything over the years, probably as you have as well. So,
yes.
Hey, Coach, thanks for joining us. Love having you on the show. Wish you the best of luck today in your shootout and your tournament, and the best of luck the rest of the season. And congratulations again on winning that Midland Trail Conference Tournament Championship.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thank you. That's Mike Finkbone, the head coach of the Oden High School basketball Eagles. Busy week. Won a conference title last Saturday. Then they played in the Christ Our Rock Lutheran Tournament. Last night had to beat Sandoval 87-70. They'll get on a bus and go play at Pinckneyville this afternoon. That game, for those of you wondering, at the Pinckneyville Shootout. Let me pop it here on the computer. They will play at 12:30 this afternoon against Lovejoy. And then, of course, last night and then tonight, they're going to finish out the Christ Our Rock Lutheran Tournament as well. We need to take a break. We'll step back and come back on the other side. Jeff Lonnan, head coach of the Mount Vernon Lady Rams, either riding a bus or getting close to Mattoon. We're going to have him join the show. You're listening to Saturday Sports Show on WMIX.
With a look at your next rad weather. It'll be breezy today with periods of rain, high 47. Tonight's looking mostly cloudy and colder with periods of rain ending as little snow late. Watch for icy spots, low 21. It'll be colder tomorrow and Monday with a blend of clouds and sunshine, high tomorrow 30, high Monday 35. Next rad weather from WMIX, Mount Vernon, Illinois.
Don't just dream about a better job, go get it with scores of programs that take 2 years, 1 year, or even just a few months to complete. Rend Lake College is your gateway to a career you'll love. From nursing to coal mining, from computer programming to cosmetology, and everything in between. Rend Lake College is affordable, convenient, and ready to get you trained for your new job fast. Call us at 618-437-5321 or visit us at rlc.edu.
A digestive problem can affect every area of your life, but now there's a specialist right here in town who focuses on digestive health. Mayo Clinic trained Dr. Tegpaul Atwal has opened the only gastroenterology clinic in Mount Vernon. Dr. Atwal treats acid reflux, gallbladder problems, inflammatory bowel disease, ulcers, and more. For your appointment with Dr. Atwal at Crossroads Specialty Clinic, call 618-241-9071.
Saturday Sports Show brought to you by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital. It's what healthcare should be. Denny Swinski, Avery Barton in studio. Chris Hugo and Jeff Crow en route to where this guy is going to be here in a little while. Jeff Lyon of the Mount Vernon Lady Rams heading to Mattoon for a non-conference game this morning. And, Coach, after a big win against Althoff, a quick turnaround to ride the cheese north to Mattoon today, isn't it?
Well, we left at 7 a.m., and we're sitting in Hardee's in Mattoon. We got here at 8:25, so we made sure we got off to an early start this morning, made sure it buys up. We're all sitting here supporting the local Hardee's, and we'll head over there to the gym here in about 30 minutes, and everybody's going to be wide awake when we get there and ready to play, hopefully.
So you better get in and out before.
That's the idea, right?
Right, that's the idea. You better get in and out of there before Hugo and Crow get there, because you know they're going to want to jump in on the tab.
Well, you can tell them that I'm looking at the little heat lamp behind the counter right now, and there are plenty of bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits, so they need to stop and grab some.
Well, they're probably listening on their way, and you guys are already in Mattoon. I got to ask, any weather issues so far? We're hearing kind of stories north of that, or around that area. Weather is going to start to be a factor.
Right now it's raining, and there is some snow on the ground up here, but I don't feel like the temperature is anywhere near a danger range right now. It feels fairly good, somewhere in maybe the mid-40s. I don't know, and that's completely unofficial. But it does not feel like it's too cold yet, but I know that that can change in a hurry up here in this part of the state. I'm from here, and I know how bad it can be up here. It just gets worse as you even go farther north. So I think we'll be okay. We moved this time back because of the Mount Vernon High School is having a dance tonight.
Well, and, looking at last week,
the girls.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You go ahead. You were talking about the girls.
The girls wanted to get this game in early today because they've got a lot of important things to do tonight for their dance and things. So we moved this game back. So we're playing it a little earlier.
There you go. Hey, I got to ask this. Speaking of changes, that was kind of the way the game with Althoff went on Thursday night. I felt jumped out to a big lead, knocked them back, had a 20-point lead. and then you had to hang on because Altoff's too good a team to lay back. I thought your team did a pretty good job to hang on and do just enough to hang on down the stretch and get a big win at home against Altoff.
Well, they're very good, and I have to keep telling people that they're as good as there is in our conference right now. It would not surprise me if they go and beat Carbondale, once or twice. They still have not played their conference matchups yet due to weather back in December, so they're going to play those 2 games within about a 5-day period. It would not surprise me a bit if they took Carbondale out once, if not twice. They are equipped to give anybody problems, and it just starts with their speed and athleticism and their youth. And listen, they never quit. I mean, they just keep coming at you. I think, it's just unbelievable that they could throw the freshmen out there that they do and the sophomores, and to be down by almost 20 points to us in the first half and not just collapse, under that kind of pressure when you're that young. I mean, they just know no fear. And, we're very fortunate to get that victory. We've beat them twice now, and I think it's a testament to our girls that they did that, because that's an accomplishment each and every time you beat them, much like it is when you beat Carbondale or Centralia, some of these other teams that are well coached and could give you trouble. So, we're going to take that game and move on. It's a huge win for us. We're 6-1 in the conference now, and instead of having to win 4 now we just have 3 left, and adding a loss to Altoff's conference record helps too, now they have 2, and we have 1, so the only team left now that we're tied with in the conference is Carbondale, and they still have to play Altoff twice. So my feeling is those 2 teams, in my mind, I think Altoff can split with Carbondale, at least get one loss, and that would make us the outright conference champion if we can win these last 3, and that will start Tuesday night versus Centralia.
I look at your team and seeing them all year kind of grow as a team. A lot of graduation loss last year. Your team has really come on. O'Brien, Scarborough, players that are starting to not only understand the game, but understand themselves and how they fit in the game. Talk about the growth and improvement of your guards all through this season.
Well, I think you said Scarborough in there, and I think for sure she is probably finally, playing on the offensive side of the ball like we always knew she could, dating back to, last year. Courtney was always a little hesitant to shoot the ball as much as she needs to shoot it. Or maybe I should rephrase that, look to score, instead of just shooting it. Courtney is a good dribble driver of the ball. She's a good free throw shooter. She's also a good perimeter shooter. She's a really good kid who can drive it in there, jump stop, and shoot that little 7 or 8 footer in the lane. There's not too many offensive shots that Courtney can't have a decent chance at making, and she's always been this way, but I think, especially in the last month, is probably the first time I've seen her just let it hang out. And because of that, she has become the leading scorer on our basketball team from an average standpoint, and, she's been in the high teens and low to mid-20s just about every time out since that game she had in the Muscuda tournament where she only got 4 versus Freeburg. I think that was a wake-up call for her, and we had a little talk about that. And then you've got Ryan, who just consistently, puts up, 8, 10, 12 points a game from the point guard spot, who is a very smart kid who knows when we say something, we want something. She knows exactly what we want. She kind of is quarterback out there, and she's just gotten better at that as she's gotten older. Hannah Owens, just a warrior as usual. She's a good basketball player. I keep telling her every day, I wish you realized how good you were at the sport. She's just a vitally essential tool in there that just continues to pour in anywhere from 12 to 20 points a night. And then the big thing that's came on lately is Isha. Isha had 18 versus Altoff, Isha Sanders. And, that's coming off 3 or 4 games where she's getting 2 and 4 points a game. So, and then Micaiah, Micaiah's never been an offensive presence for us. And, that's the last one I'd like to see score a few more on the offensive side of the ball, but she does do a great job defensively. She was the one that guarded Collins the whole entire game versus Altoff, who gave us so much trouble. Excuse me. the last time that we played. So, and the bench, I think, has done some good things. Peyton Hayes and Jasmine and Colleen and those people that we played.
Look at your team. Of course, today at Mattoon, up and early, riding a bus, a dance tonight, Centralia and Marion next week. Any concerns with how this team may come out of the gate with a team in Mattoon you play once a year you don't know a lot about for a non-conference game on a Saturday morning?
Absolutely. Yes, that's always a concern, especially when you're playing early and you're so far from home and you have an emotional win, 48 hours ago. Sure, absolutely. That's a concern. You bet. Will we be as sharp this morning as we were in the first half of the all-talk game? I probably not. That's just a reality of high school sports. That's the nature of high school kids. It's just they were so charged up the other night after a routine day at school. They're in their groove. They're in their routine. They get to the gym. It's just a routine. And then they get there. They've been pumped up all week, hearing it from me about how important the game is. They go out. They perform great. Now today, it's a whole different makeup. We haven't been in school. We're playing a morning game. It's a non-conference game. We're on the road. It's not, it's different. It's just different. And subconsciously, it's very hard for those kids to get charged up like, they do in some of these conference games. So, and that's just nature kids. That's how it is. And the bottom line is you just got to go back to what you do in practice. What they know how to play. They know what we want. They know our system. They know when they're screwing up and how to fix it. We very seldom have to tell somebody when they make a mistake what they do wrong. And we're going to have some of those this morning. And we'll play through them. And, hopefully by the end of the first quarter we'll be fairly sharp and we'll be woken up and we can get a nice victory today because we do need wins, Danny. This weather's killed us and our win total's not what it was last year. We've lost some terribly close games, and we're looking for wins right now in this non-conference schedule.
Final question for you, and it's pretty easy. Well, it might not be. I don't know. It's our social media question week, and this week's question is, what is your favorite part about Super Bowl Sunday?
That's easy. It's the food.
I didn't know.
You guys know. It's the food. As far as what happens at my house, I've hosted, a get together at my house for probably the last 10 years, and it's a combination of food and friends, I should say, because all the friends I invite bring food, so they kind of come hand in hand. I can tell you this: that if I had to be pressed to even get more specific on that, it might be Hugo's stuffed peppers. He's pretty famous for those on Super Bowl Sunday, so I'm banking on the fact he's working on those this weekend, or maybe even as we speak.
I'm not so certain that your game today wasn't moved up, not because of the dance going on, but for him to get back home and cook those. I think that's probably what really happened.
I was told that he ordered 15 pounds of premium peppers from Kroger. In fact, he took a picture of them in a box to prove it. So we got 15 pounds of peppers this year for the stuffed pepper part of the program. So I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Well, the problem was he ordered them and did all the easy work, and then he sent Avery to go do the heavy lifting and get them back. That was the issue with those.
Well, that's not right, and because of that, we probably should invite Avery, just as maybe come over and hang out with us as a token of appreciation that we have for him. But I'm going to tell you this, I'm not sure I believe that story, because Hugo's better half is she's pretty sharp, and she can cook, and I'm not sure she'd let Avery touch her peppers.
I don't think she would either. I don't think Hugo would let him touch the peppers and cook either.
No. You're probably right.
Here he comes. Here he comes. He's jumping in on the mic. Here he is.
There's a picture of me carrying them. I clearly do the heavy lifting. But, yeah. Really, 15 pounds of.
How much did Chris pay you for that? Avery, did he give you any?
He gave me a coupon
any money to go do his work for him?
DiGiorno pizza, actually. Yeah, so $1 off a DiGiorno.
Yeah, that was nice of him.
Yeah, $1 off. Yeah. Yeah, you see the gratitude and thanks we have for Mr. Hugo. So he and Crow will be up there in a little bit, Coach, and hopefully you get out of Hardee's before they get there so they don't put any breakfast on the bill. And they'll see you today, and we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see you next week at all the Lady Rams games.
Okay, guys. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
Thank you. That's Jeff Lon, head coach of the Lady Rams. We got to take a break. Hour number 2 on the Saturday Sports Show. Kicking off and in the leadoff spot, Pinckneyville boys basketball coach Bobby Wagner. You're listening to Saturday Sports Show on WMIX.
If you've been trying to buy a car with a challenging credit history, you've discovered that it can be discouraging. But there is good news. I mean really good news. Not all buy here, pay here dealerships are the same. Second Chance Auto really is different. For 34 years, Second Chance Auto has guaranteed to give you the best value for every dollar you spend. Listen, did you know that at some dealerships, if you buy an $8,000 vehicle with minimal down, it could end up costing you $2,000 more? At Second Chance Auto, they'll explain how you can save more on the total cost of your vehicle. No surprises, just honest deals, bank rate financing for all, and a truly dependable vehicle with the best value for your hard-earned dollar. This tax season, use your refund where it will go the farthest. Let Second Chance Auto earn your business and your trust. You won't be disappointed. Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Call today, 244-4582.
If you can't pick us up where you live, move. This is WMIX, Mount Vernon, Marion, another Withers Broadcasting Station.
When you hear the warm, inviting sound of a crackling fire, what comes to mind? A rustic campground? A cozy cabin? How about the new Good Samaritan Regional Health Center? Our new family lounges feature a lot of comforts you might not expect. Things like this. No, that's not a babbling brook or serene stream out in the countryside. It's a 2-story waterfall located right here at Good Samaritan. And that's not the only way we're raising the bar for patient comfort. We've added lush healing gardens, as well as wall after wall of beautiful artwork, all designed to create the perfect healing atmosphere. And if all this sounds like music to your ears, we encourage you to check us out. Chances are, we're not too far from where you are right now.
The new Good Samaritan Regional Health Center. Raising a hospital, raising the bar.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. By now you have heard about our new One Checking product. The new One Account is a high-interest earning, free checking account designed for everyone. Unlike other banks that pay interest on higher balance, this account pays interest on all balances. From high schoolers to Warren Buffett, One will work for you. You can talk to one of us at 244-3000 and learn about the details. One, exclusively at Community First Bank. You will be one happy customer. Member FDIC.
Saturday Sports Show brought to you by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital. It's what healthcare should be. You can follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/WMIX Sports. Denny Zawinski here with Avery Barton. And joining us now, the head coach of the Pinckneyville Panthers, riding high on a nice little winning streak over the last 7 to 10 days. Bob Wagner joins us. Coach, a week ago today, another BIT championship. It's kind of like paying taxes for Pinckneyville. It happens quite a bit, doesn't it?
Well, just when you, fortunate to win a lot of tough ball games, but just very proud of our players. And just giving us an opportunity. We fought through some tough ball games with Cecil Valier, and that was a 2-point ball game, and then also Carlisle and Oakville were both good ball games. So just fortunate to come out on top.
A younger team, and basically considered some of the other older teams you've had in your tenure at Pinckneyville. A younger team, are they finding their groove now after the BIT, and in this tough part of the schedule as you head into February?
Well, I just think that early in the year with our inexperience, we had guys that were role players last year that got to play a little bit, but now when you're getting the majority of the minutes, it changes, and you learn that your role changes because defensively teams put better players on you, and then you have to be able to play through that. And I really think that right now we're playing some pretty good basketball, but we're still trying to fight through a few injuries, and that was another thing early in the year that hurt us. But coming off the wins at the BIT and then a win last night at Sparta, we're playing with a lot of confidence.
You mentioned that Sparta win. I thought that was huge because, one, you're coming off the BIT, and that's an important part of the schedule of the Pinckneyville players and the fans. Number 2, you have to go to Sparta, and that's always a tough place to go play, but I thought that was very impressive for your team to be focused last night, go into Sparta and get that win.
Well, I agree, and it's a tough place to play, and they were playing some good basketball, too. They really played well in their own tournament, but, more importantly, we played without Brian Taylor again and still found a way to get a win, who, is a very good athlete and a good guard for us, and, some other people stepped up and played very well. Caleb Dan for us right now is playing very well in the post, and last night, he had 12 rebounds and really controlled things for us inside.
One of my favorite events to come over and be a part of, and I get to actually broadcast a couple games today, is the Pinckneyville Panther Basketball Showcase. 9 varsity games, the opportunity for JV teams to get games in as well so they don't lose any games. Talk about your event today scheduled for Duster Thomas Gym and the auxiliary gym there at Pinckneyville High School.
Well, in our shootout, we really try to, get teams matched up according to their abilities and size, and then we also try to get teams a JV game also. So a lot of times when teams go to shootouts, their fans sort of get split because their JV kids get left out, and we don't want to do that. And with our new facility within 50 feet, you have 2 very nice gymnasiums. Of course, Thomas Gym, and then you have our new auxiliary gym. But overall, for our showcase today, from 11 o'clock to probably 10 o'clock tonight, you're going to be able to watch different levels of basketball and also some very good basketball. We have some state-ranked teams and some very good players that are in this showcase. And
looking at the showcase, several good matchups. Alton Marquette is in there. Of course, I like the Madison-New Berlin matchup. Everybody gets a chance to see Madison. Woodlawn DuQuoin, 1A, 2A there. You get St. Joe and Mount Carmel. I imagine if you move that game out to Quilman Field, as many people would go out there to watch as they would in the gym, wouldn't they, on that one?
I guarantee on that one. It was kind of interesting. That wasn't the original matchup, but St. Joe Ogden State ranked, and then after watching Mount Carmel at Lawrenceville in the Capital Classic, and they just won the Carmite tournament. They're both very good basketball teams, and then of course you mentioned Alton Marquette, and they have one of the top scorers, the Lavender player in the Metro East area. I think he's averaging right at 26 points a game, and I know that he scored 50. I think twice this year, so at 11 a.m. you can go watch a really special young man play too, and his team's done very well.
Yeah, and then, of course, SV Steelville at 6:30, another game that we'll do today at Pinckneyville, and then your team plays Mater Dei. That's a young ball team that's very, very good. That's going to be a tough battle for your team coming off a road win in conference to have to turn around and come back and play such a good team, Breeze Mater Dei.
Well, Mater Dei, they're playing very well. They've, I think, won 7 out of their last 8 ball games. They're very big. They mix up their defenses, and they're playing their best basketball right now, and it's going to be a big challenge for us. But I think when you have these type of games in a showcase, you want to challenge yourself, and these are those games that make you better heading into the home stretch, getting ready for state tournament play.
And speaking of the home stretch, I see on the schedule after today, DuQuoin at home, at AJ, home to Nashville at Carterville, as everybody tries to chase Nashville and knock them off. Weather-wise, schedule-wise, do you have any games to make up before the end of the year?
We do. After next week on Friday when we play DuQuoin, we have Waterloo Jabot coming back in for a makeup game on that Saturday. So another tough state-ranked team in 1A that will be coming back to Pinckneyville to play us on Saturday, February 8th.
That'll be a nice game for your team. Of course, looking ahead to postseason, as I scroll down and I look at the DuQuoin sectionals where everybody will head to, you're at the Nashville Regional. And again, you're stuck kind of with a conference tournament plus Redbud. Nashville at home, you, and then, of course, Redbud and Sparta. Sparta could come in and play very well, so tough. That's a difficult regional now with the 4 classes where Pinckneyville and Nashville kind of found their way into the same regional year after year.
Well, I mean, basically what's happened now because IHSA and the 4 classes, and they don't have the sectional seating, which is something I think that they should go to. You basically go off of where you're located, and with us and Nashville being so close, it makes it a lot tougher. But hopefully it's things that the IHSA will look at, and they'll go into a seating format eventually and get some of these teams spread out into different regionals, and let the top 4 or 5 or even 8 teams get 4 or 8 teams get spread out a little bit to where it doesn't become a conference tournament, because now with the classification, that's basically what it's turned into.
Speaking of that, we got a busy day. You're going to be out there all day running around, scouting, coaching, and getting things taken care of. Our final question for you is our social media question of the week, and it is, what is your favorite part about Super Bowl Sunday?
Well, some people would say the commercials. I always love the new commercials, but the biggest thing that I like is actually getting to spend time with family, on that Sunday when you bring people around and friends and you get together and just have a a good time watching the game together.
That's a good deal. Coach, thanks for joining us. We'll be down there. I'll be down there early, of course, to get in and watch the games at Pinckneyville, do those 2 games at DuQuoin, Woodlawn, Stesser, Steelville. Appreciate the hospitality today that you'll give us, and thanks for joining us this morning on a Saturday Sports Show.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you. That's Bob Wagner, the head coach of the Pinckneyville Panthers. Of course, the Pinckneyville shootout today, as he mentioned, a lot of games going on in that shootout, and we'll go through the schedule here real quick for everybody in case you want to know. Games start at 11 a.m. in Thomas Gym, the auxiliary gym. The auxiliary gym, a very nice facility. I mean, they use that for the Duster Thomas Hoops Classic. In Thomas Gym today, all varsity games starting at 11. Alton Marquette, Salem, 12:30 North Clay in Greenville. 2 o'clock, Madison and New Berlin. 3:30, a game on WMIX, Woodlawn and DuQuoin. At 5 o'clock, St. Joe Ogden and Mount Carmel. 6:30, Cesarville and Steelville, a game here on WMIX. And 8 o'clock, Pinckneyville, Mater Dei. 2 varsity games today in the auxiliary gym at 12:30. We already told you Odin will play Lovejoy. And at 2 o'clock, Sparta will play Caro. That's in the middle of Sparta Greenville. And on the other side, St. Joe, New Berlin, Cesar, Steelville, Mater Dei, Pinckneyville JV games going on in the auxiliary gym. $8, and you get to see 9 varsity games for $8 and throw 4 JV games in there as well. So 13 games for $8. Not a bad deal if you're a high school basketball fan. Take a break. Coming back on the other side on the Saturday Sports Show, the head coach of the Trico Pioneers, Mike Denault. 2 big wins this week for his team in BDC West play over Christopher and Cesar-Valere. You're listening to the Saturday Sports Show, brought to you by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital. It's what healthcare should be, right here on WMIX.
Too expensive to get back into shape? Not anymore. Rend Lake College's new fitness center is only $53 per semester. They've also thought of everything with universal machines, free weights, treadmills with dedicated TV screens, ellipticals, and more. Qualified dance instructors are also available. Or go at your own pace with DVDs that can be used in the exercise room. Best of all, it's open 7 days a week. Check out the Rend Lake College Fitness Center in the Marketplace off Potomac Boulevard in Mount Vernon. Or log on to rendlakecollege.edu/Fit Center.
From crucial Midland Trail matchups to the tournament trail, you'll find the very best selection of local basketball on the WMIX Sports Basketball Showcase, powered by Community First Bank. Hi, this is Terry Prosize, Vice President from Community First Bank of the Heartland. Find broadcast schedules, live streaming, and archives on WMIXSports.com or listen to your favorite showcase team each game night on WMIX. It's the WMIX Sports Basketball Showcase powered by Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC.
Mount Vernon is home to many wonderful people and things, and that includes quality cardiac care from Dr. Ruzaik Ibrahim, a skilled cardiologist. Dr. Ibrahim's training and scientific accomplishments have earned his designation as a Fellow of the American College of Cardiology. His services range from preventative care to the treatment of advanced heart conditions. For an appointment with Dr. Ibrahim at Crossroads Specialty Clinic, call 241-9071 or visit in person at 4113 South Water Tower, Mount Vernon.
Saturday Sports Show brought to you by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital. It's what healthcare should be. Denny Zerwinski in with Avery Barton, who's pushing the buttons. Chris Hugo and Jeff Crow away to Matt Toon for Lady Rams basketball. And joining us now is a guest we haven't had on in a while, but glad to have him back on after 2 big wins this week. Mike Denault, the head coach of the Trico Pioneers. Coach, thanks for joining us. 2 big wins this week over Christopher and Cesarville. Your team playing some very good basketball right now.
Well, we're starting to realize our identity a little bit, Danny, and I think that's been the big key for us. Is we had a hard time finding who we were early in the season, and our guys have finally started to play with kind of intensity and defensive focus that we really need to be successful. And I think that's been the key for us this week and throughout this 4-game winning streak that we've got.
I'm looking at the box score last night. I'm a guy that likes to read box scores, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, whatever. One of the things I noticed, your team gave up 11 points in the first quarter and then gave up 8, 9, and 8 over the next 3 quarters. How good was your defense last night in beating SV?
It's the best it's been since I've been here last night. And I think the key for us last night is Cesar. They like to run that ball screen offense, and they're very good at it. And they've got the key component there in Nick Marlowe, who he's tough to guard. If you go behind the screen, he's going to stop behind it and shoot it, and very effective there. So I'm against Pinckneyville, knocking down a couple of those from about 2 steps behind the three-point line. That puts the fear of God in you when you see a kid out there that can execute that play at this level. And then you try to fight over the top of it, and he gets in the lane, and he'll refuse them, and he makes it pretty tough. But we had a game plan going in that we wanted to make sure that we were really active guarding those ball screens and aggressive, and our guys did a nice job of that last night.
Last night, of course, you get that big win. You had a big win on Tuesday. Earlier in the week, I believe, against Christopher in a makeup game. I was pretty impressed with the way your team went about getting that win and Cesar-Valier this week.
Yeah, I mean, those are, as well as I do, the Black Diamond is probably as balanced and strong as it's been in a long time. And every night when you go out there, it's tough to get in, whether it be home or off the road. You've got great players and good coaches at almost every school in the conference. Chester with the Lawhead kid and Malore, and at Ziegler, obviously McPhail. He's put up 38, 40 points a couple times this year. Obviously at Goreville, you've got their dynamic duo with Cavens and Snell, and then you get the Cesar with Marlowe and Baxter, and they're a very balanced team. But it's tough. Any night in our conference it's hard to get a win.
Speaking of tough, I know notice your schedule. Obviously you host your tournament at the beginning of the year. Then you play at Carbondale, and then you play at Sparta in your 2 tournaments of choice out of 3. How important are those as far as playing in bigger tournaments against bigger schools helps a 1A team like Trico as we get to this time of year in the grind of conference heading into postseason?
Well, my philosophy on that is the bigger, more physical teams you can play throughout the year, the more it's going to prepare you. And obviously, more important than that is the competitiveness of the games that you have. And I think just like in 2A, there's a lot of quality basketball teams in 1A now with Woodlawn and Oakville, Cesar, Goreville, obviously Meridian. So I mean, it's important. The scheduling of it's important, but more importantly is to find some teams that you can be very competitive with, a group of teams, and we've experienced all different styles of play in the tournaments that we've played, and obviously at Carbondale we saw a lot of quickness and athleticism. A little bit different than what we see in our tournament, a little bit different than what we see in Sparta, but a variety of different styles of play is important, I think, for you to see throughout the year. So, when you do get into the postseason, there's no surprises and nothing that you haven't experienced.
Speaking of surprises, winter's been a problem. We've been asking coaches there. I have how many makeup games, if any, do you have left to put in the schedule between now and regional time?
Right now, we just have one with Oakville on, I think it's February the 10th. It's a Monday. It's kind of an odd time to play. But that's right now. That's the only makeup game that we've got left to play. Now, it's looking like that list could get added to over the next week or so here.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully we can get our games in because they're going to start getting, it's going to start getting crowded week by week. And Coach Garner and I both talked last night about the grind of January of having to play 3-4 games in a week is not good for the kids. It's not good for us. It's not good for their academics to have them, that many days during the week trying to play basketball.
Speaking of the grind, of course, after regular season comes postseason, and I look at the Goreville regional and I see teams like Cobden, Alvarado, Goreville, Shawnee, ZR, and then I see Trico and Steelville. It's kind of like Trico and Steelville needed a place to go, so instead of going to Christopher, they sent you to Goreville. It's a little different look of starting a regional down at Goreville for Trico, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's the IHSA at their best. They put three regionals in the Deep South, and one up here at Christopher, and they moved Woodlawn down, and there goes our spot at either ours or Steelville. You can take your pick, I guess, in that regional. I don't understand how they choose the sites. You think it'd be more balanced, but it is what it is, and we've learned that over the years, and we just got to deal with it. The travel's not going to be great, but it is what it is. We're going to be ready to play, and we're going to see that thing coming up here. I think probably for most of us, last night would have been our last game that'll be noted on our record before the regional seeding. So it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. It's a tough regional. Ziegler is very capable. Nick Fail kid's a heck of a player. He's hard-nosed, and obviously you've got Goreville playing on their home floor, which makes them pretty difficult to compete with. But we're excited about it, and it's nice to be back in 1A with some teams that are a little bit closer to our size. Last year we had an opportunity to win a regional. We played against at Murfreesboro, and very competitive regional. Good balance for us as far as the caliber of teams there, and we didn't play well against Chester in that final game, but we had our opportunity.
Final question for you is our Saturday Sports Show social media question of the week, and it is, what is your favorite part about Super Bowl Sunday?
My favorite part about Super Bowl Sunday is just really the ability to relax and get together with friends and watch a good football game. I really enjoy NFL football. It's one of my passions. I never had an opportunity to play football as a kid when I was in school, but I've taken a liking to the game and the coaching and some of the players. I really enjoy watching Peyton Manning play. I think he's probably one of the best that's ever wore a uniform at that position, and just the way he goes about his business, it's intriguing. To answer your question, I think the best part about it for me at this stage of my life is it's a day where I can relax and get away from basketball and teacher evaluations and some of those things, and just enjoy family and friends and watch a good football game.
Coach, we hope you get some rest and relaxation tomorrow. The grind begins in February. Good luck the rest of the season. Thanks for joining us on the Saturday Sports Show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Danny.
You're welcome. Mike Denault, head coach of the Trico Pioneers, on a roll, 2 wins this week. We need to roll into another break and come back with our final guest of the day. John Krause, the head coach of the Oakville Rockets, will join us here on the Saturday Sports Show on WMIX.
I'm Jeremy Pearson with a look at your next rad weather. It'll be breezy today with periods of rain, high 47. Tonight's looking mostly cloudy and colder with periods of rain ending as little snow late. Watch for icy spots, low 21. It'll be colder tomorrow and Monday with a blend of clouds and sunshine, high tomorrow 30, high Monday 35. Next rad weather from WMIX, Mount Vernon, Illinois.
Convenience is what the Medicine Shop Pharmacy in Mount Vernon is all about. During these cold winter months, take advantage of our free local delivery service to your home or office, or use one of our 2 drive-through windows where a staff member is always ready to serve you. If you take several medications and have trouble remembering what to take and when to take it, ask pharmacist Eric Black about medication planners. These blister packs make it so easy to take the correct medications on time. In a recent poll, patients 65 years old and older who use medications found that more than 50% take at least 5 different prescription drugs regularly. Those polled admit they forget to take their medications. Don't let this happen to you. Stop by and ask us about our medication planners. Remember, drugs don't work in patients who don't take them. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon, or give them a call, 618-242-8776.
America is a nation on wheels. Everyone has at least one automobile. We use them for shopping, work, everything we do. But they can be a threat. Some accidents can't be prevented. Your professional Pekin Insurance Agency, Page Insurance on Crown View in Mount Vernon, can help protect you from a large financial loss when an accident happens. Call Page Insurance today at 242-7000 about low-cost auto insurance from Pekin Insurance. Ask them about the many money-saving discounts that are available. Depend on your hometown professionals. Pekin Insurance.
Saturday Sports Show brought to you by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital. It's what healthcare should be. Denny Serwinski here with Avery Barton, who's pushing the buttons. Chris Hugo and Jeff Crow on their way to Mattoon for Lady Rams basketball later on this morning. Joining us now, the head coach of the Oakville Rockets, John Krause. And, Coach, the last time we talked to you on a Saturday Sports Show, there was about 10 inches of snow on the ground. It was about 20 degrees colder. A little bit warmer, just like your team lately. They've been winning a lot of games.
Yeah, it's good to be with you guys this morning, but got up this morning pretty early, get up to school, get some things going, and surprised it was warmer than I expected it to be.
Hey, looking at your team, you come out of the Breeze Mater Dei tournament. I mean, you played some pretty big schools in Edgewater, Highland, of course, Mater Dei. You had to go on the road to Nashville, but since that point, you've went 6-1 since that loss in Nashville. What's been the key to the turnaround for your team since that Breeze Mater Dei holiday tournament?
Well, I think a lot of it has just been, we knew going into this year we were a young team, starting a freshman and 2 sophomores and, guys coming off the bench. We have a freshman coming off the bench, a sophomore coming off the bench. So we knew that it was going to take some time for this team to kind of develop a little bit and to get used to the things that we're trying to get done and the intensity and the competitiveness of a varsity basketball game. So, usually after that Christmas tournament, you start to maybe see some signs of some things. And, winning some games at Mater Dei against some really tough teams, I think helped our confidence level. And, going into the Nashville game, we didn't shoot it great over there, but yet we're in the game. And I think our kids came away feeling like, the game we could have won if we'd have shot the ball a little bit better. And, built some confidence, in those games and then just have kind of moved forward. And our young kids have really grown up, and we are really guarding people right now, and that has made a huge difference and not put so much pressure on our offense to score.
Looking at the BIT last week, lost to Carlisle, lost to Pinckneyville. No shame in those. Pinckneyville goes on to win it, but also wins against Benton, Cesar, and Hamilton County. Benton was your closest game at 2 points, 2 other bloods. I mean, it looks to me as your team starts to head down this final stretch of the regular season, they're finding ways to win in neutral court road environments, which is important, as you said, to growing up being freshmen and a younger team.
Yeah, the Benton tournament I thought Saturday was a huge plus for us. We lost Friday night to Carlisle. We had a 3-point lead, and the kid made an underhanded diving 3-point shot at the buzzer to put it to overtime. And so it was a game that that we probably should have won in reality, but a kid made an unbelievable shot. And I was really worried how our young team would respond on Saturday morning with, Benton playing at home is really tough, and Cesar was just on a roll down there and playing really well at Benton. And we responded great, on Saturday. We were ahead Benton probably 15 points going into the fourth quarter and couldn't make a free throw, and they got back in the game, and we made a bucket at the buzzer, actually, to win that game. And then we played extremely well against Cesar, in the evening game and beat them fairly easy. And so that was a huge day for us. That tournament could have turned ugly and maybe turned our season in the wrong direction, but coming off of that, and then last night we played a good Columbia team at our place and just played extremely well. So I think our confidence level of our kids is really high right now, and like I told you earlier, we're just defending people and really having some good leadership out of Brahmeyer and Russell and our seniors, and they're bringing those young kids along in a great fashion. We've had great practices lately, and I think that's been the key.
You look at the rest of your schedule, being a non-conference team, you get to pick and play different schools. You get at Lebanon tonight. That's never an easy place to go. Then you have Jabot next Friday at home. That's going to be a big battle with postseason implications. You probably see them again eventually down the road. Then Waterloo at Nashville Shootout. Waterloo's won like 9 in a row, and then you got road games at Redbud and Freeburg and Mater Dei at the end of the year. You're going to learn a lot about your team over the next month, aren't you, with the grind of this February schedule?
Yeah, I really didn't need you to remind me of all those upcoming games and who we're playing. But no, we're excited about it. We set our schedule up that way, and I don't think it's any secret. People know that we try to do that, and we try to play some very tough teams and try to get some road games. I think the road games are key. I think you know that as well. I mean, winning on the road, no matter who you play and what the situation is in sports at this point, college sports, high school sports, any road win is great. And I think that's helped us, like I said, at the Benton tournament, those games, and even playing at Nashville, it just built our confidence, and we've been pretty good at home. We haven't gotten beat at home yet this year, and so that's built our confidence up as well. But, the tough stretch down here will be, Friday, Saturday, we play again tonight, and next week, Friday, Saturday, and then Tuesday. I think we play Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. We got a makeup game with Trico. So it's a tough stretch coming down the road here, but I like the way we're playing. I like the direction we're heading, and if we can keep continuing to get wins, or even if we lose games, if we can continue to build on where we're at, I think we're going to be a tough out come postseason.
When I look at your team and you got that stretch, only one game with Trico to make up as far as February goes, or do you have any others to make up?
Yep, Trico's the only one. I think it's on February 10th, that Monday. We're making up them. That's the only game we lost so far.
In the back of your mind, you mentioned being undefeated at home, the confidence building with that. Is any talk yet, I know it's still early, if you can win the Lebanon Regional, you get that sectional at home. Any talk of that in the back of their mind, your team's mind yet, or is it still too early to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it, obviously I don't really think that I get the impression our kids have got that in our mind. Maybe our seniors do a little bit. Jacob Brummeyer especially, he's been playing now for 4 years, and I think he understands the implications of, we've lost 2 straight regional championships the last 2 years, and we lost a very good Jabot team last year, and we got beaten triple overtime against Madison, who ended up getting second or third that year. So, we've lost some tough games the last 2 years. So I think it's maybe in the back of Jacob's mind a little bit. And I'm starting to see, him take the bull by the horn a little bit with this team and start to, really be a leader in our practices and on the floor. And I think our kids are starting to follow. And so I think he knows the importance. And, from a coaching standpoint, we don't talk about it, obviously. It's not something that we'll address probably. But, in the back of my mind, I realize the advantage that we can have if we can get out of that regional, playing on a sectional in our home floor. But I don't think it's something we're going to dwell on. I think we got our hands full just winning some games in our regional, to be honest with you.
I'll be honest with you, your guys are going to do very well down the stretch, and always as Rocket Basketball has been over the years. Our final question to you is our Saturday Sports Show social media question of the week, and this week's question is, what is your favorite part about Super Bowl Sunday?
My favorite part about Super Bowl Sunday is probably eating all the food that people bring to the event, different foods.
Yeah, I figured
that part is we got to go to work the next morning. That's always the bad thing.
You mentioned that, and we're going to talk about it later. I'm kind of a guy that at this point you either have to make Monday a national day off to get over it, or you're going to have to move the Super Bowl to Saturday so everybody have a Sunday to recover, because I don't do very well on Monday at work after a Super Bowl.
In all honesty, I'm for the Saturday part. I'm for having a Saturday Super Bowl and having Sunday to kind of gather everything up. Because there's been some Sundays I know in the past. Now this year it won't really work out fine, but where we've actually practiced, we've had to practice, early in the Super Bowl just because we had a game coming up that day. But this year we can actually take off Super Bowl Sunday, so I'm sure our kids would be excited about that.
Well, that'd be good.
There's been years we've had to practice.
Well, I mean, I'm like you. I'd rather have it Saturday night. That way you have a day to kind of get that food out of your system before you have to go to work. I kind of agree with you on that.
Absolutely. I'm all for that Saturday Super Bowl, no doubt.
Coach, thanks for joining us this morning. Wish you and the Rockets the best of luck down the tournament trail. You'll go a different way. You'll go north to Jacksonville Super, at least that part of the world. We wish you nothing but the best, and thanks for joining us on the Saturday Sports Show.
Hey guys, I appreciate everything you do for high school sports. Thanks for having me on, and anytime I'm happy to be with you guys.
Thank you very much. That is John Krause, head coach of the Oakville Rockets. We'll take a break and come back, and Avery and I will chit-chat about our social media question and give our answers. Of course, you can give yours too at facebook.com/WMIX Sports. Take a break. You're listening to the Saturday Sports Show on WMIX.
This is your local State Farm agent, Tony Wilt. I want to thank Mount Vernon and the surrounding area for continuing to support us over the past 5 years. If you have never sat down with someone to go over your insurance program, let me invite you into our office. Let us show you what working with the industry leader, represented by a local agent, can do for you. I'm located just off 42nd Street. You can reach our office 24 hours a day at 242-1421 or on the web at tonywilt.com. Thanks again, and go Rams.
You know by now I love baseball, love my family, and love my community. But I also love outdoing the competition. Hi, Roy Schmidt, Chrysler dealer at King City Chrysler Center, Mount Vernon. Chrysler has done it again. They're actively outdoing the competition. It's 0% financing plus. That's 0% financing plus bonus cash plus no payments. Yes, that's exactly right. No payments for 90 days on select models with approved credit. The competition isn't even in the same ballpark with these offers. We are excited at King City Chrysler and look forward to finding the perfect new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram just for you. Hurry in today to work with one of our sales associates at King City Chrysler Center, 1603 Broadway in Mount Vernon, Illinois, or browse our inventory online at kingcitychryslercenter.com.
Plenty of basketball is headed your way as Mount Vernon Rams and Lady Rams find themselves in South 7 showdowns and tournament play. You'll find exciting coverage on WMIX powered by Community First Bank of Heartland. This is Joanne Joy, Senior Vice President of Community First Bank. Listen to the Rams and Lady Rams on WMIX or watch most games on WMIXsports.com. It's Mount Vernon Rams and Lady Rams basketball from WMIX Sports, powered by Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC.
Saturday Sports Show brought to you by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's one of the hospitals what healthcare should be. Danny Zerwinski and Avery Barton in studio. Jeff Crow and Chris Hugo on the road to Mattoon. Mike Richardson away on assignment. And I don't know who the next board op is in here, but they're going to have sticky buttons to play with because Avery's glazed donut is moving over the buttons as we speak.
I'm eating the donut with one hand and pushing buttons with another, so I should be okay.
Okay.
My headphones might be a little sticky.
Yeah, your new headphones there, Dre, might be a little sticky.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
We'll move on. Saturday Sports Show, of course, here on WMIX. We want to thank our guests, Scott Gamber, Keith Welch, Mike Finkbone, Jeff Lon, and Bobby Wagner, Mike Denault, and John Krause for joining us. All those coaches, we appreciate the time they give us and time they do on Saturday mornings to us here at Saturday Sports Show. And this, of course, brings us to the segment, of course, where we get to talk about the social media question of the week. And, of course, you've heard it already. You can go to Facebook.com/WMIX Sports, post your answer there, give us a like there as well. Here it is. What is your favorite part about Super Bowl Sunday? Now, we can break this down a little bit, but what's your favorite part or parts, Avery?
I like it all. I like the food. The food's probably my favorite. I love the entertainment, love the commercials. And over the past couple of years, I've kind of understood football a little better, so I can actually sit down and watch the game and know there's not a 55th yard line.
Ooh, I think it was 51st.
Yeah,
55th,
well,
yeah.
Well, I blow things out of proportion.
I'm getting giddy here on the air, I see.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to the entertainment, but I know you're not too sure about it, but Well, I think I'll impress.
Okay, you've mentioned yours. I for one, would be, I would say, getting together with family and friends. That's kind of cool to have a day off because we're going so many games and so much sports here at WMIX. The other thing is, it's been so long. It's been 18 years since my team won a Super Bowl, the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, that would be me if they're in it and win it, and it's a great time. It's been 18 years, which is sad. Runner-ups close is the commercials. I think we've seen it's getting harder and harder to come up with more commercial ideas. Obviously, the commercials are the best. Now, for me, and we had this last year, I think was our question, who would you like to see at halftime of the Super Bowl? Was our question last year.
Yeah.
When they first, I like Bruno Mars. Don't get me wrong. But when you have to throw his name out first, then you add the peppers in behind them, Red Hot Chili Peppers, not Hugo's Peppers, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It kind of makes me wonder, okay, the NFL thought Bruno Mars could carry it. Then there might have been some social, going, I don't know. So let's throw in the Red Hot Chili Peppers because they kind of cross different genres and ages. It's Jersey. There's plenty of rockers in Jersey that'd love to be on this.
I could see that, but I could also see, because, really, Bruno Mars only has, 2 or 3 albums, and really only so many songs that, you could perform. There's some songs you wouldn't want to perform at a Super Bowl,
Right.
There's, you got to be upbeat, no one wants to hear slow songs.
The Pepsi song is going to last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Then what? I call it the Pepsi song. It's not the Pepsi song, but...
But I don't know. I'm not a big Red Hot Chili Peppers fan, but I don't know. I think it. So when did they start? They're older, aren't they?
They were in the 90s. They came in with the grunge movement and all that. They had a great. They still do, music. But they had a really good run at peak flame.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing I think about the Super Bowl. I think of a group or an act that can go out. And if you've got 60 to 80,000 people in there, a majority of those people are going to go, oh, yeah, I know him or her, know that group, I know the words. Everybody gets into it and goes.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I always see the Super Bowl as more of a classic rock event.
Yep.
As far as, just because, you think of the audience, especially just at home and stuff. You don't have really so much your 16-year-old girls watching the Super Bowl. I mean, it's more of your 30 to 55-year-old men.
Right.
I mean, and I mean, it's definitely the most watched television event of all year. But you'd think you'd go for someone who everyone really knew and knew a lot of their songs. But
well, we have went from Super Bowl I, the University of Arizona's Symphonic Marching Band, Grambling State's Band, Anaheim High School Drill Team. And let's go back to some of the recent ones. Last year was, let's see, Beyonce. Now, she wasn't bad. Was okay. Didn't mind her.
The past 2 years, I haven't gotten
Madonna was pretty good. Wasn't bad. Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, I did see that one. I wasn't too impressed.
That was not very good.
They do a lot of lip syncing.
Yeah, that's hard to do. The Who were okay. That's kind of, the Who was pretty good. I thought, Bruce Springsteen was amazing because everybody knows Bruce.
Well, yeah.
Tom Petty was pretty good as well. That was when they were going back through. Who in the world is that? Oh, yes. Prince. That was good.
Okay, yeah. I remember the Prince one.
The Rolling Stones was really good in Detroit.
My all-time favorite?
Yes.
It would have to be Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartnney and you're not old enough, Michael Jackson out in the 90s when he was out in Pasadena. Those were the two that got to me.
Really? But I remember seeing the Paul McCartney.
Yeah, Paul McCartney was excellent. U2 was pretty good as well.
Yeah, U2 can put on a show.
The Kings of Pop and Rock, Aerosmith was good. They could have done without a lot of the other ones, I guess. That was Britney Spears, NSYNC was there. Phil Collins, Tina Turner, that one was not bad, but go ahead.
I mean, I don't know. It's like really in entertainment nowadays. I feel like the Super Bowl needs to look at more of like a Grammy style.
Yeah.
Of like you have a band come on, do a song, then you have another band take over, across the field doing another song, and to where you can kind of hit all the genres and hit all your audiences that would really enjoy that. And I mean, I always think it's cool to have like a Nelly, and then he come out and start singing like a country song and rapping
and it goes
in the middle of it.
Tim McGraw.
Exactly, yeah.
They had their song or something, yeah.
Yep. But I always think that's cool. But mixing genres and stuff. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I was sitting there looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, it's in New York, it's in New Jersey. There are, I know Bruce Springsteen would be out because he just did it.
Yeah.
The obvious to me, although there's a riff right now or whatever's going on, is Bon Jovi. That would be the obvious.
Has he ever done it?
No.
Really? That's really surprising.
They did the God Bless America in 11 or 2001, I should say. They did that. The opening. Bon Jovi has never done the Super Bowl.
That's
that
crazy.
Would be the ultimate group.
Because I mean they're still around, really.
Yeah, they just got off the biggest grossing tour last year. They'll go out and make another album this year, record, as John likes to say, and they'll come back again. They're a group that you throw out a song and immediate within 4 or 5 notes of a riff, everybody knows the words.
Definitely.
From the 80s till now, they know the words.
Yeah.
That would be the ultimate.
I was kind of expecting that he's done it before.
No.
But that's crazy. Yeah. So, I mean, because you think of New York, you think like, the streets, classic rock. You think, like driving through New York City. I'm pulling stuff out of like Grand Theft Auto.
Keep pulling.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I mean, you kind of think classic rock, not so much like a pop vibe. I mean, that's kind of the impression I've always gotten from, New York and New Jersey and all that area. But I mean, I've never actually been there in person, but there's a video game that really portrays the
right. I mean, if you could, I thought when they said Bruno Mars, I know they're trying to get into the top 40, but
yeah, and I mean,
you almost have to have a group or an act where everybody goes, oh yeah, Paul McCartney's on. Everybody from age 10 to 20 to 70, 80, 90, 100 knows Paul McCartney. Exactly. They know Beatles.
Oh, yeah.
You got to have somebody that transcends generational gaps.
I mean, like my grandpa, like I'm thinking of him. He'll be watching the game. I think he's coming over tomorrow. Like he's not going to know who Paul McCartney is. The 68 years old that he is, or not Paul McCartney, Bruno Mars. Yeah, he's going to be like, who's this? But I mean, he might know the Red Hot Chili Peppers, maybe. But I mean, even they. I mean, it's like you got to think of your older people.
Away,
like
give it away now.
Yeah,
Roller Coaster. I mean, I know they have other songs.
Yeah, but I don't know. I like I feel like they need to go with like a Rockin' New Year's Eve sort of like setup, and I think that'd be kind of cool.
Ryan Seacrest, here you go. No.
Well,
yeah.
maybe not that far, but multi-genre, multi stages.
It's getting to the point now too. Like all the gambling in Vegas. Will the anthem go over a certain time, over or under? Will this go on or that go on? A coin flip, and you can gamble on anything in Vegas on a Super Bowl bet. Anything that you want to put, you can go to Facebook.com/WMIX Sports. Tell us what's your favorite part about Super Bowl Sunday. If it's the food, if it's being with friends and family, if it's a game, if it's halftime entertainment, if it's the commercials, whatever the case may be. Go to Facebook.com/WMIX Sports. Give your answer. We have given ours. Make sure you put it there. Don't forget, you can also follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. Tomorrow's the big day, and we have decided here. Here's the other thing before we go take another break. I still am a believer. I know things would have to be adjusted. This game could somehow be on Saturday to give everybody a day off on Sunday to kind of recoup.
I kind of like the idea of having Monday off as like a national holiday, federal holiday, banks are closed,
Right.
I mean, it's like really, what is it? Is it like next week is President's Day?
Yeah, President's Day is next week.
Well, because they mentioned that. They're like, why not just move?
No, President's Day is 2 weeks.
Is it 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was the second.
No,
I guess
President's Day is 2 weeks. I don't have a calendar in front of me.
Yeah, neither do I.
Oh, wait a minute, I can count. President's Day is the 17th. 2 weeks from Monday's President's Day.
Okay, and then because there's two Monday holidays that you get off in February. It's President's Day, and do you get Lincoln's birthday off?
Not anymore. I don't, not anymore.
Oh.
You get President's Day. You get one deal now.
Oh, okay. Did they change that? But
yep.
I don't know. I think they need to give a day off, just because it's probably one of the biggest days that everyone gets together, watches the big game, and there's a lot of hangovers the next day, a lot of just you're up until midnight, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So like.
Well, you don't sleep, can't go to bed.
Well, yeah, you're all jacked up on Mountain Dew,
yeah.
But I don't know. I would like the day off from school. That'd be nice, because I know I'm not looking forward to being at Rend Lake at 8 o'clock. So,
some of us you have to schedule wisely. I'll tell you off the break. We need to take our final break here on the Saturday Sports Show. Go to Facebook.com/WMIX Sports. Give us your answer to what is your favorite part about Super Bowl Sunday. One more break. Come back. We'll give you our schedule for today, triple header of high school basketball. We'll talk some girls' postseason assignments and schedules. They're out now and everything else. Saturday Sports Show on WMIX.
Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new One Account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC.
This is Chase Landers with Landers Collision Centers. Imagine this. You're driving down the road. It's dark as can be outside. Thank goodness you just had that left headlight bulb replaced. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see a thing. Now, close your eyes. Okay, don't close your eyes. You're supposed to be driving. Imagine noticing a slight twinkle off to the left, just above the ditch. What is that, you think to yourself? All of a sudden, whap! You've just encountered your first deer hit. The left side of your vehicle is beat up pretty bad. The next thing I want you to imagine is very simple. Picking up your phone and dialing 1-888-LANDERS to set up your repair. Deer claims are common, and usually a very simple process, which fall under comprehensive coverage. This is Chase Landers asking you to allow Landers to be your collision repair shop of choice. Whether it be a deer hit, fender bender, or the regular, uh-oh, sorry mom, Landers is here for you whenever you need us. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. 1-888-LANDERS. That's 1-888-LANDERS.
The health of your kidneys has a big impact on your overall health, affecting everything from your blood pressure to your bones. And if you ever have a kidney problem, Dr. Kangura is here to help. Dr. Kangura trained at the Mayo Clinic and specializes in conditions ranging from kidney stones and uncontrolled high blood pressure to chronic kidney disease. Dr. Kangura sees patients at Crossroads Specialty Clinic. For an appointment, call 618-241-9071.
Saturday Sports Show brought to you by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital. It's what healthcare should be. Why am I saying? I could have had you do that, Avery. Why did it take me an hour and 50 minutes to remember that?
I don't know. It's Saturday. It's before 10 o'clock.
You want to do it? You want to do it one time before we get out here?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Saturday Sports Show brought to you by Crossroads Community Hospital. Is more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
There we go. That's Avery Barton. I'm Denny Zerwinski. Chris Hugo and Jeff Crow on the road to Mattoon as they get ready for Lady Rams basketball. Pregame 11:15 on AM 940. You can watch it live at WMIXsports.com. The first of 3 today. The second game is pregame around 3:15 at the Pinckneyville Shootout. Woodlawn and DuQuoin, pregame at 3:15 on WMIX 94.1 FM or online at WMIXsports.com. I will be there along with WMIX Sports correspondent Todd Rushing. That's who will be doing the games today. And then we'll take a game off and come back at 6:15 pregame as the Cecilville Red Devils play Steelville. Same station, same channel, just a 6:15 pregame from the Pinckneyville Shootout at Duster Thomas Gymnasium. Girls pairings came out this past week for 1A, 2A, 3A. We'll go through some regionals that'll affect us at the Wayne City Regional. And I had the wrong one. I always do that. I always click on the wrong one. Oh, well, here it won't take very long. At the Wayne City Regional, the seeds were out. And your seeds as follows. I clicked on the wrong one again. Are as follows. Wayne City is the one. They'll play the winner of Weber and Albion from the Monday night on the 6 o'clock game. Then on that night, Wednesday, Glacier and Woodlawn will play in the semis. Title game on Friday night, 7 o'clock at Steelville. Trico is the 1 seed. They will play the winner of Alvarado and Shawnee. And then Steelville-Cobden will play in the other game. Winners play on Thursday at 7. At Pope County, Goreville is the 1 seed. They should have no problems with Gallatin, Hardin County, Pope County, or Maple Grove. Drop on Maple Grove. Mounds Meridian Regional. Caro is the 1 seed. Century and Meridian will play in 1 semi, and Caro will play the winner Egyptian and Dongola championship game on Thursday night. That's 1A. Those regionals feed into the Trico sectional to be played on Monday the 17th, Tuesday the 18th, and Thursday the 20th, all at 7 p.m. The winner of the Trico sectional will play the winner of the Toledo-Cumberland sectional. That'll be on Monday, February 24th at 7 p.m. at B.E. Gum Gymnasium in Salem. Now, some other regional teams of note at the New Athens Regional. New Athens is the 1 seed. They'll play the winner of Marissa and Christ Our Rock Lutheran. Oakville's a 2 and Sandoval a 3 in the other one. And then that regional, of course, feeds into the Whitehall North Green Sectional. It feeds into the Jacksonville Super Sectional. Class 2A of note in the area in southern Illinois. Of course, all these teams will feed into the Salem Super on Monday night, the 24th. They're going to have to play at 6 and 8, way it looks. We'll start off on the Casey Westfield sectional side. Mount Carmel is at home. They're the 2 seed. Marshall's the 1. Mount Carmel's the 2. And Mount Carmel gets Lawrenceville round 1. Marshall gets the winner Casey and Robinson in the other game. Carmi hosts the regional. Hamilton County and Clint Weinmiller's the 1 seed. El Dorado and Harrisburg are the 2-3. They'll play each other. Carmi and Fairfield the 4-5. Vandalia, of course, T-Town's the 1 seed. Greenville, Florida, 2-3. Newton, Vandalia, 4-5. On the other side of the bracket that feeds into the Frankfort sectional, the Nashville Regional, Nashville Hornets will be the 1 seed. They'll play the winner of DuPont and Chester. Pinckneyville's a 2 seed. They'll play the winner of Redbud and Sparta. At DuQuoin, Cecil-Valera is a 1 seed. They will play the winner of ZR and DuQuoin on Tuesday night, followed by Benton and Frankfort, and then those winners will play on Thursday the 13th at 7. And at the Murfreesboro Regional, Carterville is the 1 seed. They'll play the winner of AJ and Vienna, and then Murphy and Johnston City, of course, title game on Friday night at Murphy at 7. The title game of the DuQuoin Regional is on a Thursday the 13th at 7 p.m. Where are the Mount Vernon Lady Rams? Well, we're getting ready to tell you right now. Not really, because they're at the Massac County sectional or regional. Those seedings and pairings will come out this week. So those are 1A and 2A. If you need to go find those, best way to do it to find everything for you is go to ihsa.org. That is a great way to find all the regional pairings postseason. Of course, boys 1A and 2A seedings, pairings, times, and dates comes out this week at ihsa.org. Also, we wish the best of luck to all the teams that are cheering in the Triad sectional competition today at Triad. The winners advance to state next week, those including the Mount Vernon Rams. You saw a picture of them on Facebook.com/WMIX Sports last night, as well as on Twitter at WMIX Sports. Thanks to all of our guests this morning for joining the Saturday Sports Show. Scott Gamber, Keith Welch, Mike Finkbone, Jeff Lonnan, Bob Wagner, Mike Denault, and John Kraus. Of course, at 11:15 a.m., Lady Rams and Mattoon pregame on AM 940. Watch it live on WMIXsports.com. And then later on in the afternoon, it's Woodlawn and DuQuoin from the Pinckneyville Shootout. 3:15 pregame on FM 94.1. Also online at WMIXsports.com. It'll be Woodlawn and DuQuoin. Danny Zawinski and Todd Rushing will be on that one. And then, of course, the second one, the pregame at 6:15 or so, Cesar Valere and Steelville from Pinckneyville on 94.1 FM, also online at WMIXsports.com. Todd Rushing and I will have the broadcast of that one. Big show, big weekend. Football ends tomorrow. NASCAR's starting to rev up. The Winter Olympics start this week. Curling and hockey, yes, for the next 2 weeks. Spring training's right around the corner for baseball. And Groundhog comes out tomorrow and lets us know if we see a shadow or not, or how many more weeks of winter we have. Avery, a final thought before we roll on out of here?
It's Groundhog Day tomorrow.
Isn't it February 2nd? Yeah.
I think, yeah. Today's my mom's birthday, yeah.
Oh,
so happy birthday to her.
There you go.
I didn't forget, but my dad did remind me yesterday, and I was panicked. So.
Well, happy birthday, my dad. He celebrated his birthday last Monday.
Nice.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Groundhog Day. Yeah, I guess it would be the 2nd.
Now, the forecast for Groundhog Day, at least here in Southern Illinois, not where Puxatawny Phil is located. Of course, the sun is allegedly going to be out tomorrow here in Southern Illinois. So if that's the case, we have X number of weeks of winter left, if you believe that. So not going to be very warm tomorrow, it doesn't look like. Highs in the 30s with a lot of north winds.
Well, they actually proven that the groundhog theory is a definite way to tell weather. Did you know that? Came out of the University of Avery.
We did, really, right behind a guy that cooked hot wings for 47 years in a row, picked the Super Bowl correctly a certain way. Yeah, sure. Well, yes, we believe that, yes.
Yeah, good times.
Well, we got
about 55 seconds.
55 seconds. Enjoy your day.
Yeah. Lady Rams in about, I guess, hour and 15 minutes
hour
or so.
15 minutes. Be listening to that one. I'll head to Pinckneyville for hospitality and shootout games and whatnot, and do the Woodlawn DuQuoin and Cesar and Steelville games.
Did you grow up in Pinckneyville? Because I know you have a lot of ties.
No, I got a lot of ties. This just in, Centralia at Jerseyville boys basketball tonight has been canceled. So those of you listening, Ryan Roddy, who does the games for our sister station, WRXX in Centralia, just texted me, Centralia at Jerseyville canceled day due to the winter weather up there. Thanks to all of our guests this morning for joining us on the Saturday Sports Show. Go to Facebook.com/WMIX Sports. Give us a like. You can follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. For Avery Barton, Chris Hugo, Jeff Crow, Mike Richardson, I'm Danny Zerwinski. Have a good weekend. Have a good time. See you next week.